I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and in this video we're going to be taking a detailed look at the Briggs & Riley At Work Large Cargo Backpack, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. One of the strong suits of this backpack, I think, is its durable material. So we have a 1600D ballistic nylon outer fabric, and then the bottom here is a coated 600D nylon as well. And so this is for abrasion resistance. So when you're setting this down a bunch, you can see it just has like a slicker look to it. And then you have these little kind of like corner supports almost to just help when you're setting the bag down to just add a little support as well. So overall the fabrics are super durable, haven't really had any issues with any loose threads or anything like that. It's a pretty solidly built bag. So on top of that, we have this top little Briggs & Riley it's like a little monogrammable panel. So it just sits there blank and empty if you don't have anything. You don't need to monogram it if you don't want to, but otherwise it's just kind of hanging out there, so kind of might as well, I guess. And then at the bottom we have a little @ symbol, which is for the branding. And then we have YKK zippers all around. So all of these zipper pulls are a little bit jangly. They're metal, and so I'm just gonna shake this real quick. And you can kind of hear like just the amount of noise that it makes. This back laptop compartment is lockable, but the rest of the zippers are not. So that just adds a little bit of security, just kind of something to note there. And then we have this came with a luggage tag. So if that's something that you like, then that's a really great shout as well. Pretty simple, just across the board. Its square shape does stand up really well on its own. We do have a nice little leather carry handle here that's pretty comfortable, otherwise stays a little bit out of the way. But this is a design that you might see in like Tumi or Travel Pro, or kind of a bunch of other bags have this sort of square-ish shape with a lot of pockets all around it. And this bag definitely has that shape. It stands up super nicely on its own. So if this is something that you're into, this is a really great example of that. Onto the back panel here. So you can see it's pretty nice and mesh padded all across the board, both on the straps and this back panel here. This little lower half is actually a luggage pass-through as well, which is great. I think this bag appeals to a lot of business travelers. And so if you're gonna be kind of doubling up with your roller luggage, that is a really great shout. This padding here is super thick. You can see, I mean, you got like a good inch, maybe a little bit over, of padding, of mesh there, and it's really comfortable. I found, I didn't really have any issues even when this was loaded out pretty heavily. It was still felt pretty comfortable on. And then we have these adjustments over here. We have strap keepers. They're like little leather strap keepers to keep everything in check. And then just really quick adjustments here, kind of like normal. Nothing really too special with this back panel here. I would say the main thing is just comfort. This, padding here really definitely helped with both airflow and just keeping the bag comfortable when I had a lot of stuff inside. And this is what the backpack looks like when it's actually on. So again, you can see that square shape, it's pretty prominent. It just sits pretty flush against my back. What I do like about this is that it's not so bulky. It doesn't really come out too far from my back. It feels like it's almost a little bit like skinnier, a little bit more narrow, which I think helps with that boxy design to make it feel a little bit less imposing. And it falls really nicely as well. It kind of feels like it's on my lower back. I do have a shorter torso, but if you did want to lengthen this, you definitely could. But something to keep in mind, if you have a shorter torso, it is still comfortable even with its larger size. All right, there are a few compartments outside of this main compartment, so we're going to get into them now. We have the side pockets. These are little twin pockets on either side, and these act as either quick dump pockets or water bottle pockets. So it just unzips like normal, has a pretty, unzips from like end to end, and then you can fit a water bottle inside. They are fairly, you can see like the gussets help keep that water bottle in. But even with this hydro flask here, I believe this is an 18-ounce hydro flask, it still feels kind of bulky, a little bit odd, and you can't like zip it up after the fact. So I didn't really find myself using this for a water bottle. It felt like it does feel secure, you know, like enough. If I shake this bag around, it's not really doing anything. But, you know, just in terms of actual functionality for a water bottle pocket, wasn't a huge fan of it. I mostly just kept it on the inside of the bag. And then I'm gonna put that off to the side. There is a little pocket in here as well if you wanted to fit like a slim, you know, thin item in there. It doesn't really fit too much. I mean, that can fit like a card or something, but for the most part, I just found myself like sticking my phone in here or something like that. With the front compartment here, we have kind of two aspects of it. We have this front little slip pocket. This one here is great for like travel documents or something like that. It comes down to where the seam is, so it's not that huge. You can't fit like a notebook in here or something. I found myself not really using it. It's pretty flat. You can't really put too many bulky items in here, else it's going to start to impact the shape of the bag. So, I mean, it's nice aesthetically. It's got this kind of like leather accented top up here with the little Briggs & Riley logo, but in all, you know, didn't really find it super functional for my use cases. And then in this pocket itself, once you open it up, you can see that some stuff is actually dumped out of there, which is pretty telling and major one of the issues that I had with this bag in general. It feels like these pockets here aren't very secure. And by that I mean there's no like zipper or anything, and the fabric itself is kind of loose. You can see there's just like a large wide gap here. There's no like elastic or really anything to keep your stuff in line. There are a few other pockets back here, like this one is gusseted out. I just kind of put cables in here, but you could put a phone in here, a wallet in here, kind of whatever you want. And then we have 2 pen slots, and then these are little short pockets that are great for like, I don't know, like a little tube of chapstick. A little hard to get stuff in and out of there. Again, that's sort of something that I like kind of ignored. If you like really granular storage, this is going to be a great shout for you. You do have a decent amount of space down at the bottom there to store any other gear you want, but I sort of use this as my slightly organizational pocket, even though these pockets here were a little bit loose and stuff could fall out of them. So something to keep in mind. Up top here, we have another pocket that's just a dump pocket. Nothing special in here. There is you have like a unique style number and a serial number that you can scan to kind of keep track of your bag. And then we have 2 little loops here. You can put a pen here, or I just stuck chapstick in there, honestly. And then it was quicker to access for myself as well. And that's just a dump pocket, no extra organization. And then we have the laptop compartment, which unzips fully down the bag. You can see on either side, it has gussets to keep it from falling completely open, but we have a laptop sleeve that fits up to a 17-inch device with a large, you can't really see it, but it's a big false bottom down there and a ton of padding as well. And then on this side, you can put like a tablet or another device, honestly, if you wanted to. I just put like my sleeve, and then if I had more tech items or something, I could store them in here. But overall, this one's, you know, nice and easy to get to, but it really is just functional mostly as like laptop storage or device storage. And last up, we have the main compartment. So similar to the laptop compartment, this zips all the way down the side of the bag. Not like the laptop compartment, it does not have lockable YKK zippers. So kind of wish that was an option. It just feels like a waste to kind of have like the main part of your bag. Like obviously your tech is probably gonna be the most expensive stuff you carry, but would have been nice to see those just up top as well. So opening up the actual main compartment there, what I think is kind of missing from this is the fact that these gussets are so small. So if I wanted to, I mean, it's almost like this backpack would have had the ability to open up so much wider because of how far these zippers go down. But then when you actually stand it up on its own, it's like, I don't see why I really even needed to have the zippers go all the way down here. They really could have like gone to, I don't know, is that even the right zipper? That's the wrong zipper. They even could have gone here and I would have gotten largely the same amount of visibility in there. I mean, it doesn't really hurt for the zippers to go all the way down, but I feel like if this gusset was a little bit wider, it would have been a little bit easier to see everything on the inside of the bag. On the plus side, with the way that it currently works, I don't know if this gusset was any larger, if it would stand up as well on its own. So if standing up on its own is a huge thing for you, then this is great. So I just have a couple of packing cubes in here and then a hoodie, but otherwise it's a really, really simple main compartment. So In this back sleeve here, this has a false bottom as well. Actually, I'm able to fit a 13-inch laptop with honestly room to spare. What I like about this is that, you know, this like top lid part doesn't get in the way when I want to pull that device out. So, you know, if you have a smaller device and you just want to like carry extra, maybe you have like a work laptop and then a personal laptop, this is a great bag for that because there are so many sleeves to put those devices in. And then otherwise, you know, you've got this kind of like, if you were to lay it on its side and you kind of pull back this compartment or this like top lid area, you do have a nice little like bucket shape to pack everything out. So in general, I don't mind it. I think it's got like a decent amount of structure to it that makes packing easy. But you know, the visibility once you actually get into this main compartment is like a little bit iffy. You can also see too, it's like really, I have obviously these 2 compartments packed out with gear, and it's really pulling down. You can see like that crease up. Basically that crease is this crease on the front, and so this pocket's pulling forward, just kind of pulling the bag forward. Doesn't really hinder anything with functionality, but just something to note, I guess. If anything, it kind of makes it easier to see on the inside. It doesn't really pull this panel forward, which is nice. And then we have these 2 little elastic pockets. This definitely helps with keeping the gear on the inside, unlike the pockets that are in this front compartment that are completely open with no elastic or anything like that. So definitely I'm missing the elastic in the front pocket. And in this pocket here, didn't really find myself using these a ton. If you wanted to like, I guess you could use this as like a makeshift water bottle pocket if you really wanted to. You know, you can like put that there. Kind of up to you how you want to pack everything out, but you do have a decent amount of space in here, and it is really nice. I think it, like the fact that it holds a square shape, it stands up on its own, is really appealing if you're going to be using this and kind of going to and from coffee shops, or you're going to be using it for work or something like that. It just kind of has a nice sleek look to it, I guess you could say, if you're going to be carrying this around on the daily. So there you have it, the Briggs & Riley At Work Large Cargo Backpack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.